Yo, what is up, guy? It's Sly here again. I know it's been a while since I uploaded last, but honestly, just been super busy. It's been crazy, been crazy. But today I got something special for you guys. Phantasmal Spiral. Honestly, what I'm thinking is the best deck to start the game with. If you've never played the game before, you're just trying to learn. You just want to stun your life away. you know, it's just all around. It's super good. It is ridiculously cost efficient, which is why I think it's the best deck to start with. Because this deck is beyond dirt cheap. I have yet to see a deck that is cheaper to build than this. It's crazy how cheap this is. So I got a few replays for you guys. I think I got like tier bestial branded. So we'll get right into those. I'll explain you know my thought process on what I'm running for the deck, because there are a few different ways to build it. So we'll go over that in the deck profile at the end. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get it. All right, guys, let's jump right in. All right, so the deck's kind of weird. You don't really run a lot of monsters. That probably even an understatement. Like, you really only run 2 monsters. You run 3 Megalo Smasher X and 3 Phantasm Spiral Dragon. That's kind of it, right? I know it seems weird, but I'll explain. So the whole strategy for this deck is pretty much running off of normal monsters and normal monsters only, right? So no effect monsters at all. You know, still want them to be water, so that way we get some searches and some of our other cards benefit, right? As well as you'll kind of get other monsters with Paleozoic and the other one. What is it? Dino Miscuits, and I have such a hard time pronouncing this other name. But you know, after they're in the grave and you activate another trap, you can special summon them. They act as a normal monster, right? Still water, which is great. Like that's the whole gimmick here. Everything basically revolves around your field spell, the Phantasm City. This card's always treated as Umi, and anytime you know an effect monster or something's normal or special summon, this is pretty much going to proc. You're going to get a free Phantasm Spiral Dragon token, except it's not going to be as strong. It's still going to be level 8, but I think it's only going to be 2000, which is fine. It suits our purpose. Combos well with Sea Stealth Attack. And then, you know, to get rid of other back row decks, because, you know, we want to be the only back row deck. Got Feather Duster. Also dig to search for Megalo Smasher X because it is a dinosaur. It is a dinosaur. 2 Pot of Duality. This card is one of the only cards in the deck that I would ever swap out. You can actually swap this for Pot of Extravagance and then just throw cards in your extra deck. But I prefer Duality just because you actually get to see the top 3 and pick one. So there are times where I wish I had Extravagance instead. But I don't know, just depends. Pick your poison. 2 Unexpected Die. I would never run this at 3. It's just foggy beyond belief. We don't really discard for anything. But I do like to see it, which is why I'm not running it at 1. Fury of Kaijin basically adds Torrential Tribute straight to our hand. And then while this is in the grave, we could protect through destruction effects like Raigeki, Lightning Storm, or our own Torrential Tribute, which is super nice. And then Fish Sonar. This is like, again, just another search, kind of like Fossil Dig, but just for water monsters. And if Umi's on the board, which is Phantasm City, we get a free special summon, which can basically just flat out give us our Phantasm Spiral Dragon. For equip cards, we got Phantasm Spiral Grip, add 500. And then if we destroy one of our opponent's monsters right through battle, we'll get to special summon a Phantasmal Spiral Dragon straight from the deck. These automatically shift and equip to it, and our opponent takes 1000 damage, which is honestly just super good. Super good, right? Then we already said Torrential, we already said the Paleozoic cards, and then we get into the other traps for Phantasmal Spiral, which is Phantasm Spiral Battle. This is pretty much just a monster pop. Literally don't even have to set this if you have Pacifist on board, because then you could just use this from your hand, right? Like you've probably seen me do that in the replays. Same thing for Spiral Power. This is a monster negate, as well as they lose 1000 attack and defense. Metaverse to get our field spell. 2 evenly matched just because, you know, we want to break boards. And then for everything else, it's basically just prevent our opponent from playing. 1 Solemn Judgment, triple Solemn Warning because we don't want monsters on board. Triple Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi because this is just a free Omni Negate if we have a non-effect monster, which that's all we had. And then double Sea Stealth Attack. I've been considering dropping this to 1, but don't come into it enough when it's at 1. That's one thing I did actually test. So as far as like what the deck can and can't handle, the deck can kind of do everything. The big issue is a lot of the deck targets. Like besides torrential, we don't really have any other non-targeting removal. And if you come across something that's like, let's say you play against Sprite, you know, they get an Avramax on board, that is, for all intents and purposes, that is game. You have nothing that is going to get you over that at all. It's sad, but it's what it is. That's when like you could potentially use Drowning Mirror Force. You know, you just basically needed to attack. You know, spin the card back into the extra deck. Problem with that is then obviously it could come back, but hopefully they can't recur IP at that point. But really, you're only out. As far as like other ways to play the deck, honestly, you get a fair amount of options, right? Like the deck also has a instant win strategy if you're using all 3 of the equip cards, right? But then I think you also need what is it? I think it's this one, Phantasm Spiral Assault. Yeah, so you target one Phantasm Spiral Dragon you control. When it destroys 3 effect monsters your opponent controls by battle, while equipped with 3 or more Phantasm Spiral equip cards with different names, you automatically win the duel. So some of these other equip spells are actually fairly decent, like Wave and Crash. I personally just I don't run them, but they are good. So you can kind of flex the deck around a little bit, but the main general strategy is kind of the same. But that's just my take on the deck. I mean, obviously there's a lot of leeway. You can run it kind of how you want, which is just really, really nice, really amazing. So as far as that goes, I mean, that's kind of all I got for you boys, at least for today. So hope you like it, and I'll catch you guys laters.